In this training video, I'm going to teach you about the pre-application meeting request form, also known as the DSA 91, 92, 93, and 94 form. Now, which phase is this used for? We call this the pre-plan check phase. Again, this form is not that common, but the reason DSA came out with it was because sometimes architects would have these oddball projects, submit them to the plan approval phase, and then they would get kicked back. There were questions that maybe could have been answered prior that would have helped everyone, or they could have came up with a list of ideas and strategies prior to submitting. So DSA thought, why not have a form where they could request a meeting with us, ask any questions they might have, we could help them, and then they could submit their plans to plan approval, and the process would go much smoother of getting them approved. Now, there's 4 different type of forms, but they're all the same form. The only difference is if you belong to the Oakland regional office, you fill out a DSA 91. If you're Sacramento, 92, Los Angeles, 93, and San Diego, 94. Now, what is the form? I took all this information from DSA and broke it down into bullet points. This is not used for a preliminary review. It's a pre-application meeting. Next is if the project seems really complicated and you have a lot of questions about either code or the procedures, or something's not certified, maybe the geological condition, you will set up this meeting with your concerns that require resolution prior to submitting to DSA. Next is the information you provide below will also allow DSA's team to properly prepare their staff for the meeting and answer questions that you have as accurately as possible. The meetings are to not last no longer than 1 hour. So my recommendation is before your meeting happens, you need to have all of your documents and your questions laid out. Also, if it's not just you having questions, make sure your entire team is providing that information. Last but not least, your question should be focused and specific as possible. Now, let's pretend I'm the project architect and the district that I'm currently assisting belongs in the Sacramento regional office area. So I'm going to use a DSA 92 form. Next, I need to fill it out. Part 1, architectural firm, very simple, list your firm's name. Part 2, who's the project architect on here. Next is the contact number. Now, if you want to hear back from DSA quickly, I would either put your office number with your direct line and or your cell phone. Next is email address, then the school district, county the school district resides in, project name, which is the school site, and the project description. Try to be descriptive as possible of what you're doing. Next is the estimated cost and the approximate submittal date that you plan on submitting this to DSA. After that, you're going to list the meeting request dates and times that work for you and your team. So if your architect, which is obviously you, the school district, maybe other consultants are going to be at this meeting, get the times and dates that work for everyone prior to putting it on this form. Next is the number of expected attendees. We just had a meeting such as this. It was myself, the architect, and the district. There was about 6 of us. So again, list who's going to be going. Last but not least, you need to provide an attached list of specific questions in the following 4 categories, because at the end of the day, this is what DSA cares about. They care about the processing, structural, fire life and safety, last but not least, accessibility. So if you come down here, you're going to list the questions that you have for these categories. I might put, DSA processing. And the reason I'm going to put that is because I have non-certified projects that are going to prevent this and I cannot certify them. So I need to have a meeting about that. Or let's say it's something structural. So you would put structural and then bullet points of the questions that you have for that. Once you're done with this form, you're then going to click submit via email. Now, here's the thing, with technology, you can't always trust it. So if you're done with this form, I would print a PDF copy and then I would email it or first call DSA, the regional office, and ask them, I filled out this form. I wanted to confirm you received it. And if not, who can I email it to? Because The last thing you want to do is click on that button and then it gets lost in the cloud and you never hear back. If you don't hear back from DSA, I would give them a call within 24 to 48 hours just to make sure that all this information was received and it's processed.